Yeah, okay. A continuation to yesterday's session, we were going through BDC frequently asked questions or FAQs, or actually these are some of the notes that we can really take according to the particular topic. Since we don't have any topic specified for BDC, just to go and understand some of the concepts, we are going through as frequently asked questions. So as part of that, so we are at question 20th. So how long we can extend the CPA or BTPA contracts? I think before that it was difference between all these different versions of BW on-premise, then PC on BDC and PC on general private cloud. General private cloud, not part of your PC. General private cloud doesn't have data product generator. That you must be knowing it. So people who are currently using a private cloud for BW system, they don't get the data product generator. Only people who have migrated to BDC private cloud, they will have data product generator to get the data products into DataSphere with a seamless integration, but not the other private cloud. So this is going to be totally different cloud, not part of BDC cloud. I think BW PTO is another. Don't remember the full form of PTO, but it's just another option that is given by SAP for customers to get to the cloud. Okay, so on-premise, on-premise there isn't any new thing there. Just these are the two things that get really confused: RISE versus PC on BDC. And BW Bridge is there, you know that. And anyway, we are not really we will talk about BW Bridge a little bit when we get to this topic of BW Bridge later, and see how does the PC will help over the BW Bridge. So we will move that topic from now. And then licensing, coming to the next question, licensing. How long you can extend? You can, if your existing contracts will continue to the time where they are valid for. Like if your contract is till 2026 or 2027, your BTP contract, is valid until that expiry. But if someone is taking or any new subscription after December 31st, that will be part of your BDC contract, not CPA or BTPA contract. So these existing contracts will be taken all the way up to their current renewal period, but after that there is no renewal period. For example, if your SAC is expiring on January 30th or January 15th, current BTPA contract for SAC, you can't renew that. So you'll have to go through BDC renewal process to put a different if your contract is your SAC contract is till 2027, then you don't have to worry about changing to BDC. So anybody who is scheduled for renewal will have to reach out to anyway customer will be customer account executive will be reaching out to the customers to see the new contract type. I don't know how do they do mix and match. For example, you have BTP contract for end of 2026, and then SAC contract is expiring early 2026. Whether they are going to ask you to have the SAC contract with BDC and keep the DataSphere contract as it with BTP agreement, which I am not sure. It is going to be some account executive maintenance that they may. It's tenant level. It's a contract level agreement that they're going to establish. But general guideline is that anything that is getting renewed after 31st of December will be part of BDC, not part of BTP. They were unless they have a special exemption to renew it as part of BTP. Generally, that is not the case. So we'll have to see how they manage if or corner cases based on the customer experience. That's something that is not really what we can resolve. That is account executive from SAPs will take care of it. Um, but the general guideline is that 2025 till end of renewal period. However, you can if you wanted to rewire the contracts, you can rewire it anytime. Let's say you have a contract end of 2026, but you wanted to go with BDC early than your 2026 December, then you can always go and do the rewiring to BDC. You get a BDC subscription, and then you prepare for rewiring. That's possible. So I'll talk about rewiring after. Um, Yeah, I think these questions are kind of shuffle. There is no actual standard order that I prepared because I listed based on the time I've got. So you may see some coming in the different orders, not in a proper sequential order. I'll have to sort out this order and get the right order. So why do I need to create a data product in DataSphere? Custom one. This is merely for delta share zero copy functionality and also merely able to find it in the catalog. We discussed about it, right? Able to find it in the BDC catalog and also share it and have a seamless experience everywhere. So your its underlying data product is basically a table, but you can still go with your tables just the way that what we have done so far. There's no problem. Even after BDC, you can continue to do the same thing that you are doing or currently what we have done in this course. There's no problem. As long as you don't have a requirement to do a delta share or catalog usage, or using ORD, Object Resource Directory, and all of those BDC related activities, data governance principles, and etc. You don't really wanted to use with Databricks and etc. Then there is no real need for having a data product in your BDC data sphere. You can continue to have your local tables as they are, and then continue to do the models, analytic models, and do the reporting. Anyway, they are all tables. There's no real problem to you. Data product is just a formation or abstraction of a table in a way for data governance and cataloging and also sharing. So you will understand what it means a delta table or delta share when we created an object in Databricks, maybe today, and then you do a delta share to that. So you will understand why do you need as a data product to be able to have seamless experience, not the table. So, but yeah, it's not mandatory. That's what I'm saying. You can have it for better governance. But you can also go without having a data product in any scenario. That's the next question. As for HANA PC to DataSphere integration, custom data integration is possible. Yeah, you can do. That's what I was telling. You can choose to go with SAP data integration to BDC, and even after going to BDC, and it's fully. I say it's fully managed. It's managed. It's managed by SAP. Customer can just activate the data product and data referent to the foundation service. That's one thing. The customer doesn't want to do that, then they can still do with S4PCE to data integration. The way currently what we are doing in BTP, the same thing can be done even after going to BDC as well. So technology doesn't change, just they are adding an additional feature to have a data lake in between to get the foundation service data uh, to effectively manage the storage for the SAP managed data products. Okay. So next question, data catalog of DataSphere and BDC catalog one and same. Yes, they are same. So if you look at the this is BDC trial, I guess. Yeah. Important info. So this is my BDC trial. So I can navigate to the BDC cockpit. Oh, so it's lost. And also I can navigate to the DataSphere from this URL. And then see the object that you find here, you can also be able to find there. So when you have system landscape and go to the DataSphere URL. So this is the trial from BDC, DataSphere trial from BDC. Now you can see the catalog and marketplace. We really didn't go a lot of marketplace data products and creating custom. As I said yesterday, if you wanted, you can go through that recording, the YouTube session. But we will go through this topic later. So if you look at the catalog and search, you will be able to find the catalog data products in this place, as well as the one that you have in BDC. So basically, they are reading the information from the same, what you can say, same place. So you see, so we got all these company code data products that were shown in the BDC catalog as well yesterday. This is the BDC catalog search. So which means they are one and same. You get the information duplicated. So eventually this will be removed. You don't have this search in the data sphere, and then it will be only BDC catalog for everything. Okay. Currently, this data sphere catalog even gets you the external data products and data bricks, just like what BDC catalog can do. So it's actually one and same. The information behind the scene, it's actually the same. So so it will be merged into one place. That's what it says. Okay. And then our data catalog experiences in one place, and that will be BDC catalog. Why Databricks Delta share to BDC is complex. Generally, Delta sharing is very simple. You just take the data product and hit share button. That's what we've seen in a pre-recorded demo, right? And even in general, even from Databricks to any other application also, it's very simple. Just you go and share the particular data product as Delta share. You remember we saw 3 exercises yesterday that shows Delta sharing. Think, yeah, I think one of these exercises. Oh, this one. Yeah, once you have the demo activated, and then in this demo, you have an option where you click on the particular data product and you see a share button, and we don't see that, just the share button and in this tenant, free tenant, but you will see a share button, and you will also select the target recipient when you do the share, which is very simple to do Delta sharing in cockpit, BDC cockpit, just one click away from getting it done. But that is not very straightforward when you do the delta share from from DataSphere back to BDC. So you do a model, then in DataSphere, and then you wanted to get that shared with BDC catalog so that it can be used by DataSphere or any other thing. There is a additional step required, which is your SDK needs to be deployed, and also quite a bit of work involved in doing it. So that's why I put it is. It's not very easy. One click action. Okay, so Databricks to Delta Share is not one click. You need to have SDK component. So you wanted to get more details about the other way around. You can say Databricks. Actually, BDC Connect is going to use the similar connect. Databricks Delta Share SDK to SAP BDC. So if you can read the Databricks documentation, that's fine. Or you can also read the SAP documentation. There must be both. You will be able to find. So just get this one. Yeah, this is the Databricks documentation. This is the SAP document. Both should get you the similar. But I see Databricks documentation is much better in understanding how does the delta sharing works. So grant business data cloud recipient as the recipient access to delta sharing data shares. So this is the manage the connector, and then you follow these steps to do the delta sharing. You need a BDC SDK to get this share back. That's what I said. Little bit of not complex kind of activities required, but the process is this one. This is not, but the other way, which is getting SAP data products shared with Databricks, is very simple. As I said, one click share. The other way around is a little bit of activity involved. So that's what it shows. I will paste this to URLs as well in the FAQ so that you can understand what is involved in getting it back. Sharing Databricks from to Business Data Cloud using Python SDK. So that's the you can also find it in the help documentation, but just the yeah, that's the delta sharing and shared data as data product to business. In order to publish this to, yeah, data sharing is also simple in Databricks from the provider side, but in order to publish this one, you need this SDK, BDC Connect SDK to be available. Maybe they're going to remove this SDK and everything, put it in the connector, BDC connector, which I don't have full knowledge. I haven't used BDC connector yet. So they may do some little bit of enhancement to avoid this connect SDK import. They will wrap it up in I think that's going to be easy task for them. They will be really doing it very soon. But right now, this is the process. You need to install this SDK and then be able to publish it to the BDC catalog from Databricks. Okay. So I'm going to paste this to URLs. This is SAP documentation. Oops. This one. SAP documentation, and I will also Databricks documentation. I didn't put more context to the BDC to Databricks because it's going to be so easy. we can do that. Actually, we can see when we log into Databricks, we will be able to see it. Okay, so this is for the, I asked why, but they said currently it is the way, but they will be uh, making it more user friendly in the future. Okay, and can I do delta share Databricks data product? So can we do a delta sharing to SEC? Like Databricks can easily do the delta sharing to Power BI. We will do that exercise anyway. Either maybe if not today, but next week. But can we do it? Can Databricks can do this delta sharing to SAC so that it can directly consume the data products from Databricks? Currently, no. It has to go through DataSphere analytic models only. So SAC is not ready to take data products directly from Databricks and also HANA data lake or SAP standard data lake. It has to go through DataSphere application at this time as part of BDC. Maybe in future they're going to allow from data lake, standard data lake, or data products as well as Databricks data products. But at this time it has to go through DataSphere. The other one is SAP AI Core. This is BTP other service. Can data BDC? Which one to choose? What's in? Yeah. So it's an interesting, with the recent release, SAP AI Core also can access the data products of BDC. Remember, we have another foundational pillar in BTP in the architecture very early. You got AI Core, right? AI Core is SAP own AI capabilities with for MI, AI, ML, and also you got AI Launchpad, and also you got Gen AI Launchpad and generative AI capabilities with access to all the LLMs and also MCP protocol involved there. So everything is there. So if AI core is able to access the data products, SAP data products from the data lake, I mean, let me put the diagram. PDC architecture. So if the AI core is able to access the data products here, the data products right in the object store, why should we share this with Databricks? That's the question. Really, you see, that's where we are. We just talked about this scenario. This is not possible, as I said. Databricks too. This is completely no. That's what currently this is not possible. This is a previous answer question. So this is no, and we don't see AI core, but BTP can access these data products directly. I'm going to put that AI core here. AI core is another service in the BTP, just like your DataSphere. So if AI core is able to do data access directly, it can access even now, right now. Then why should, and then you can prepare AI ML models in AI core, SAP own AI model development. So why should someone really take this to Databricks? Can we leverage SAP own models and then use them and then share it back to the BDC? Why SAP has taken Databricks as the preferred model for AI ML scenarios and generative AI models? And this area is currently valid, but at this time, this area is more selected and matured, powerful for data science. This area is getting developed as API core for generative AI capabilities and for business AI, the overall ERP applications AI and etc. Maybe down the line, even for data product access, also they're going to suggest SAP AI core versus Databricks. But at this time, still for better modeling of AI, it is Databricks is the preferred choice. That's what this question is all about. So you can go to the BDCF. FAQs. Yeah. So you can see, I'm just going to remove this whole thing. Yeah. So currently they can complement each other, but the preferred choice is as we discussed, um, it is Databricks. You can also find more explanation from product development on why they are suggesting. Um, you can read this one. So this is from one of the product executives. Strong tooling. Currently, AI Foundation lacks it. It is getting better, but the main use case for AI Foundation currently is for business AI, for general AI capabilities or around the SAP ecospace, not only for just BDC, but in general, creating agents, agentic workflows and MCPs. They are focusing on that area, not in the machine learning AI data model preparation area, where Databricks is already so powerful in it. So since the partnership is already there, so why don't SAP cannot catch up with everything at one time. So they brought Databricks into place for that particular category where they are already established and so mature, and then they are at the same time, to avoid the competition, they are coming up slowly on the AI foundation, starting with other AI in. I mean, doesn't mean that Databricks cannot do agents. Still, it can do, but SAP is preferring to create the agents using AI foundation service for all other purposes, and those areas SAP is not recommending to use their Databricks at all for general business AI around the ERPs and SAP general ecospace. And it is clearly AI foundation is the thing to go there. Okay, so that's how they are distinguishing the differences. You can read this note in detail. Importance of catalogs. Yeah, as I said, metadata, and then easily able to find it. Governance, if you're familiar with data governance in general, from Colibra or any data governance to like from Microsoft, what is that? Purview. So data governance is something that we don't pay a lot of attention in the past, especially in SAP. BW world, there's no proper data governance tools so far, just because of it. The nature of SAP data warehousing exists. There is a little bit in BODS, but not to the extent it can compete with any other. It's the worst, we can say, in SAP data governance. Now, since in order to compete with Microsoft Purview or Informatica data governance or Colibra, these are very powerful data governance tools in lineage, catalog maintenance, impact analysis, and better documentation for understanding the data as a product. Data governance is so important. There will be data owners who are going to really, it's all going to lead to the data mesh concepts and everything, which it's just not part of the current training scope. In order to go into this data decentralization, data mesh concepts, and data as a product things, data governance is so essential with policies, data ownerships, and approvals, and etc. So with all these things that were never been there in data world of SAP, BW, neither BW nor HANA or nor SAP S4 HANA. I think they have to come up with some solution. That's when they are putting a lot of efforts in the Unity catalog, just the Databricks Unity catalog underlying. So catalog will get a lot of importance. It's not a simple documentation, but eventually it gets more better importance. Frequency of data products. When I asked, I said it's 10 minutes. I don't know it is going to be universal across. but it is they say 10 minutes. But we don't. It's going to be, maybe it can change for customer to customer, or they said it can change from customer to customer in the future. Customer can request, customers need can lead to increase the time interval for replication flow. Actually, it's not replication flow, right? It's actually a push methodology from S4 to S4 to SAP Object Lake. So we really not have to worry about this, because this is customer to customer use case difference. Any questions so far here? All the way up to 28. Okay, then we move to the delta share. Before we go to the delta share, just talk about rewiring of tenants. It's very easy. You don't do anything. You just give the request to SAP. They will take care of this. That's what merely you can read it. No additional charges. As soon as the only prerequisite for rewiring is to have a BDC subscription, and you pay for the charges, and you can rewire anytime. But if your contract is ended, you must rewire it to the BDC tenant. Otherwise, it's you wanted to know more about rewiring, or how it is done, and whether your tenant is going to change or not. You will be able to understand by going through these 3 blocks. We will be talking about it in the next half. Then how does the rewiring process happen? Yeah, so there are 2 possibilities. You may have SAP provided instance. It's very old. 3-4 years ago, SAP used to provide the instances for SAC and even for data warehousing cloud. But later in BTP, the way we initially set up our BTP DataSphere and SAC, we were able to create the instances as a customer. So the process is slightly different for these scenarios. If it is SAP provided instance, you just as soon as you activated the BDC, SAP will take care of rewiring. But if you're already using BTP based user service instances, then you will send a request to SAP. They will take the tenant and then migrate or rewire to the BDC tenant for your DataSphere and SAC. These 2. At one point, it has to happen. Depends on your expiry of your contract. How long? Maybe maximum to 12 hours. So any one weekend, they will be able to do it. Whether no downtime, not downtime, no downtime required. You can continue to use that's what they say. No need to stop the instance. Why do we need both Databricks and AI core services? Yeah, I think same thing from the top. To choose Databricks over enterprise Databricks, this is another thing that I was always thinking. So what really matter for SAP Databricks? If you have everything like a connect, you do have a connector for Databricks, standard Databricks as well as enterprise Databricks and everything. Enterprise Databricks is part of your Azure, AWS, or Google, any of those cloud platform. Why should you take it to SAP BDC instead of using these Databricks on top of this one? This is from SAP internal reply. Is that the landscape is trusted. See, if you compare this with Microsoft Fabric, they don't restrict you. They ask you to go with your own. For everything, Microsoft has a very less restriction. SAP is keeping a lot of restrictions on the data products, on the data lakes that you're going to use, because they're not going to give you what data lake you're going to use. They're going to manage it for you. So But Microsoft offers what data after one lake. What is the other options that you have for Databricks? You wanted to go with Databricks on any other platform, AWS, you can always go with. There is no such strong what do you say, principles that Microsoft is applying to you as part of Fabric solution, as a data fabric solution, Microsoft Fabric. But SAP is implying a lot of security and governance methodologies when when you're going with BDC. So if the customer really wanted to go with a more secured environment, which can be a use case for large, huge customers, top 50, top 100 customers, and then definitely SAP BDC wins the race over Fabric. So that's why they wisely took this decision to manage most of the activities within SAP control as a secured, governed control. If you go outside of SAP Data Fabric solution, outside of BDC, there are some of the parts that can lead to not can lead to security violation. There is a scope for your managing. That's the primary objective. So basically, larger clients may try to take BDC over Data Fabric because of the. I think they took this unique selling proposition purposefully just to um, retain the customer base, which is just really the big customers. Fabric is not doing it, and they wanted to go with little open. Okay, so that you can find more information about why do we take SAP Databricks over the enterprise Databricks for these. And there is a nice blog from Ronald, if you are interested. I found that one blog, Ronald, if you're familiar with SAP BW blogs, Ronald data B, BDC versus Fabric. He put that blog somewhere. Yeah, I think this probably this one. He is also, Jonathan is also doing, but I would really prefer. I mean, both okay, but he is more towards SAP all the time. And he has all the parts to choose why SAP Data Fabric versus Microsoft Fabric. But similarly, I was looking for Ronald. Just give me, yeah, this guy. So I can go into his profile and then just grab. This is actually not the blog that I was expecting. Just put this one and then go to the blogs. Not sure how do I get the blogs from the.
Can you go to post, Swami? There you can able to see the blogs, I think, where he posted.
Yeah, this one probably. Probably one of the bigger blocks. Yeah, you can see this is the bigger. I'm just trying to open it. Yeah. Why your platform should be an open house, not a. Yeah, this is a. It talks about a lot of things. Snowflake versus everything. Architecture breakdown with BDC with Databricks, BDC with Snowflake, add-on extensions, external pros and cons of BDC approach. Is pretty neutral compared to the Jonathan. So you can read these two blogs. They are really why Fabric and Snowflake and why what BDC says. Your data is yours. We will manage it for you. You know, we will share it where you need it through secure protocols. Trust us. We know SAP data better than anyone. Keep it safe. So, but Microsoft doesn't say that. Your data is yours. We will provide engines, but storage and access and everything, that's your wish. So they are saying we are confident on you that you will manage it securely. And so the patterns are really different. So, but I would say BDC approach is really going to be suitable for SAP customers who are really big in SAP footprint. So anyway, I mean, there's a lot of things that you can read from these two blocks. I'm going to put them for you. I'm going to put this as another question. Why BDC versus Fabric or Snowflake? Right? This is a very common. This is a very common, and also enterprise Databricks, right? Analogy that people have to go. Yeah, before BDC, yes, of course, these were really gaining a lot of attention, but BDC is having some unique capabilities by taking most of the better performing features into BDC and then keeping the SAP's own unique selling proposition of SAP data and together. So that's why probably customers may try to retain with BDC or stay with BDC at least. So what I can say, blocks. Yeah, so it's all about more documentation that you can also read this post from Jonathan. That's but Jonathan is more SAP centric, not neutral. But you can read this. Okay, that's one more thing. I'm just going to close this one. Last one. Yeah, the most other important topics, delta share. So you will be understanding what is delta share, zero copy, and these words frequently. Wherever you see delta share, zero copy, and etc. You will get more understanding after going through a delta share. And in Databricks exercise, we will be doing we create delta tables and we create delta share. We choose a recipient. Don't worry if you don't understand what is delta share and zero copy at this time, but after completing Databricks, you will be understanding what does it mean. Basically, at a very high level, delta sharing is that you don't transfer the data. You don't have to transfer. I mean, you can do the data replication as well, but at the same time, you can also do the zero copy, which means you don't have to physically store the data as a copy of it in the target system. So there are going to be short-lived URLs generated as part of delta sharing, and you can use those URLs to access the data from where the data is there. Still, you're transferring the data though. Okay. And then zero copy, yeah, no data copy in the target system. It's just transferring and then showing it for analytics. But if you do it with CDF, that's another capability from Delta sharing. CDF is change data feed, which means only changes that happen in the source or provider can be processed. It's like a Delta in our system. Delta sharing can still accept it. So with the Delta sharing 0.5, this is not meant for SAP. This has been there for open source, Delta Lake for Databricks and many other AWS. They are all using this from a very long time. So really, they have this update for change data feed. So sharing delta tables with choosing data feed, only incremental data can be processed from the source to the target. And again, this is not any Databricks anymore. They have open sourced it, so it's open source. Anybody can contribute and then do the change to the change. You can see all these commits from GitHub. I mean, any independent developer can submit their change, and then somebody from the product ownership administrator can accept their change for improving the protocol. So it's open source. So the major changes that include all those ones that we saw there. They got like 15 pull requests that from different developers contributed to this feature in Delta sharing. But really, we don't have to go into that. SAP will put it very simple for making SAP people to feel better. So we don't really go on that. Okay, that's the Delta share with change. In this case, you may have to retain the previous version of the data, right? So in that case, you may have to store the data physically in the target system so that you can have deltas only loaded after, and then you can, if you just do the zero copy, only you get the incremental data as part of the particular request, and which is not going to have a history, and you will not have entire data for analytics. So you may have to see it supports both zero copy as well as CDF. You may have to understand whether you wanted to retain the history and as well as only get the uh, incremental refresh, or zero copy is like a SDA where you just read the data from source as a snapshot at the time. But performance of is bad for zero copy because it's going to ad hoc create a request and pull the data. We talked about delta tables created in object store yesterday, so this is not something. There's one thing that is very important. Native HANA Cloud. Currently, we do have native HANA Cloud instance separately created. Right? It doesn't support full life cycle of delta table. You can store the delta tables or files as delta tables still there, but really they haven't given delta life cycle, full life cycle, which can only be possible with Databricks or any Spark, at least any Spark external Spark compute. So they have given Spark compute in BDC HANA data. See, both are HANA data lake files only. HANA data lake files is a concept introduced in HANA along with HANA. So if you are subscribing to HANA data lake currently, not BDC HANA lake or HANA cloud system, which has been there for many years, at least 5-6 years. HANA cloud is there and data lake is also there. And there is no Spark compute, which means you can't do the delta management, delta table management. But if you're using the object store of BDC, both DataSphere managed one or SAP managed one, they have the Spark compute, so that delta lifecycle is going to be there. And that's what it is going to create the data, everything, the Spark compute. There is no current timeline for native HANA Cloud to get this compute service. It has to be only within the two data lakes that we talked about, right? These two data lakes. It has to be, see, here this object store is still HANA data lake, HANA Cloud data lake only. Here you got a Spark compute associated to HANA data lake file. But if you're taking standalone data HANA Cloud, you remember I was always creating a standalone. I had a standalone data cloud HANA Cloud instance, right? There I can show you how. Let me show you that one as well, so that you can avoid any confusion. It's going to take a minute. In the HANA Cloud Central, which is an extension to native HANA on-premise system or newer version, you do. This is not there because I didn't enable this tenant instance. Just go cancel it, and then it has been stopped, and then you can just start it. It's going to take a couple of minutes. By the time I will finish so This is standalone HANA Cloud instance, which is, you still have data lake files here. And this is exactly what we are using even in BDC as well. But in BDC object store, along with this data lake files, HANA data lake files, you also have Spark Compute. There is no Spark Compute in HANA Cloud and this one, current what we have. That's why you will be able to see the delta tables here and read them, but you can't manage them in the native HANA clouds. But only place that you can manage is the BDC object store, which is also foundation with HANA Cloud data lake files. Okay. I think if it is too much, yeah, you probably can, even if you have any questions that you can put it in the chat, WhatsApp group chat, and if someone can put that answers to you. So I think we come to the end. Yeah. So few questions. Last 41. How do you control the authentication? You will have to control. There's no direct user management from BDC. It has to be their own independent user applications like DataSphere, BW, SAC, and Databricks will have their own roles and creation. That's not going to change. It's going to be same. In BDC, who is responsible for creating RFC connection? This is a very interesting question. Even SAP product team, or not product team, advocacy was confusing a lot in the beginning. But later, so even though for SAP standard or products, SAP is responsible, but they are only responsible for data lifecycle, not for administrative activities. For example, you need to set up a cloud connector to access S4 HANA PC, right? As a customer, you'll have to do that. And then opening an RFC connection, the activities that we did in the very beginning in cloud connector setup, customer is responsible for, even for standard data products that are created in BDC. So if you remember, very early days, we created cloud connector, right? We installed the cloud connector. We activated some services, and we opened the firewall, and also we enable some resources in the cloud connector. So this is not going to change. You'll have, SAP is not going to do it for you, even in BDC, even though you're using standard data product. You will have to prepare this connectivity and everything in advance, so that when you create a data package, or so when you activate an Insight app or intelligent app or a data package installation, then it will trigger the data load from the S4 HANA source system to your object store. If you don't do this as a prerequisite before, not only this one, and also the rest of the configuration parts, your data load will fail, and then you can't just create a ticket to SAP saying that, okay, my data load is failing, because they are responsible for the quality and then write data because they know the data better for your app, a standard data product app. But they are not going to support you for administration and infrastructure and configurations. That is your responsibility. So you can, yeah, so you'll have to really see the problem. You met the prerequisites before you run the Insight app activation. Okay. So what steps you may require? This is, you can find it in the DataSphere, administrating business data cloud. So RFC destination, business formation, then you trust and establish the trust certificates, RFC destination to SAP RISE, and then outbound connection, and then cloud connector setup. These 4 steps, you must be doing it in order to prepare the connectivity to S4 HANA RISE, even in BDC. The target is going to be BDC data lake though, right? But still, you need to prepare the connectivity. Okay, that's about the responsibility. What happens in DataSphere when an intelligent application is activated? Remember, so far we are talking about the architecture. So what really happens when an intelligent application is created. In the previous BDC topic, architecture topic, I said models will be created in DataSphere as here, like analytic views. Can you detail it a little bit more? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. As soon as the data product is installed or the Insight app is installed, it is going to create 3 spaces, a system in DataSphere: ingestion space, application space, and process. What is the other one? I don't remember. 3 spaces. One space is going to contain analytic models. One space is going to contain views. I think it's just a processing space. This is a application or reporting space, and then ingestion space is for tables, base tables or remote tables. So tables and remote tables, one space, graphical views and SQL views, another space, and analytical models, another space. 3 spaces will get created as part of standard app activation. We're going to see those 3 spaces now. If I switch to the DataSphere application, this is the DataSphere application that is part of BDC, right? So I came from the formation. Go to space management. So you will be able to see, this is my personal space. If you get to the standalone DataSphere, you get to see only this one. But if you activated something from BDC, you'll see S4HANA content. One, this is ingestion space. And this is just refreshing, let it refresh. Yeah, okay. This is ingestion space, and this is SAP. This is processing space, I guess. This is. Let me get to the documentation. I technical names I don't. So one of them will contain analytic models, and one of them will contain graphical views. You can also find them by Repository Explorer. So whenever you activate something, a business standard content, this is what happens behind the scene. So this is ingestion space, right? So if you click on the ingestion space, you can see all the local tables created automatically based on the working capital dashboard or Insight app activation. So there's bunch of 225 objects created, local tables. Okay. Whether you wanted to create a local table, or you can also choose to leave as remote tables. That's optional. Ingestion doesn't mean you have to physically replicate. So if you choose to go with replication flows, then it gets replicated. Sorry, if you choose to go with replication, then replication flows will be created and data physically loaded to local table. If you don't do that, then you will be creating only virtual tables and graphical views will be associated on top of the virtual tables. Remember, I always saying there is an option. There is an option for you to choose there. When you activate an Insight app, intelligent app, you get this option for DataSphere. Replication flow to local tables and remote tables. Depending on the option you choose, your ingestion space will get the objects created. The first one will get you replication flows created, and then also you will have a process chain, or what is that called? There is an object in DataSphere that calls to the automate the process. Yeah, work. Something. Let me just get this. Task chain. Yeah. There is a task chains and everything get created so that to automate the local table runs into the local tables. But remote tables just gets you virtual access. So what you wanted for your app, depending on the size of the data, you choose according to that. These spaces are arranged. So I'm going to switch to this another space. Oh, you can open these spaces and check the data. This is what happens in BDC when you move to the BDC. This is what they are all. the second space, right? I'm clicking on the second space. So now you can see in the second space, your graphical views are there. Most of them are views, right? And some of them are local tables as, oh, I think I've selected both. Should I filter only one space? Filter. So, oh, okay, this one. Okay, now I am in this particular space and 188 objects are there. Okay, in this space, you have these objects. Looks like what are these? All remote tables. Come on. Let me see the object types. You can see there are 260 views, local tables 162, and transformation flows and task chains. There are 2 task chains. So if I just put the local tables and views, and let me first see the ingestion. What are the number count? So you got 190 local tables and 35 replications will load the data into this 190 local tables. And here, so you got 260 views and still we have local tables. I don't know why they wanted to get the data to this particular local tables. Let's take a look at this local table and why instead of ingestion table, why this data coming into, let's say product sales. Let's take a look at this product sales and then see impact lineage analysis for this particular one. So this is a package and then also technical name. This is a remote table looks to me, and this is getting the data lineage. Okay, and then in this data lineage, it is actually reading a replication flow from product, and then it gets to the product product sales. This is a local table, and then from there, this is also another V1 product sales. This is a delta table, of course, but the same table. Okay, so this is loading data into this product sales table, but it's in the a different space. So I don't know why this particular data product has to come to the this space instead of ingestion space directly. Maybe the source for this one, let me open the replication flow to see and to understand what is the source. Then maybe I can understand better. Let me open this product replication flow. Show details. No, not this one. I can't open this replication flow from this one. I have to go and find this replication flow and see what is really it doing. That's the, I'm just trying to see why this particular table has to be in the space. Oh, see, this is an ingestion space still. So I'm wrong. So this is, yeah, that's what I thought, because the product sales is never been, I think I know, probably it's showing as a delta sharing, kind of a sharing object. Let me go back to the, see. So when I open this one, the S4HANA content, the other space, some of the objects that you see are shared objects. So I should have paid attention to these objects. They are not local to this particular share. They are being shared from other space. So though they are local tables, but they are actually coming from ingestion space. That's why this arrow or this symbol meaning. Okay, so we are right. So we don't have to worry about these 167 tables, but they are really a shareable object from another space. Okay, so select. You can select the views. You can see 262. See, in this view, if you wanted to use a local table of ingestion space, you can't do that. You just need that object to be shared first. That's when you see those tables here. And then you can use those shared tables inside the view. That's what it's taken care by SAP. You're not doing anything. You're just preparing ingestion, replication flows, data is ingestion, and then immediately those objects are shared to the other space, this space. And those objects, shared objects, are used in a graphical view. And then finally, you have something called working capital app space, where you have analytic model, and those analytic models using those shared objects and views. Look at this local tables. They are also shared objects from time dimension, and then your analytical model will have 11 objects, and those analytical 11 objects will be created on top of some of the tables or views, graphical views. Okay, so in this way, yeah, the 68 views, really what you see here, are not local to the analytical space. They are really, if you display them, they are really shared objects from second space. See that these views are all being shared from other space, which is second space. Ingestion, then share the objects to the middle processing, and then analytic. So that's how standard app is going to look like. If you wanted to customize this one, you can always create a copies to these spaces and then create your custom. Let's take a look at the customizations and the next question. Okay, this is what general 44 questions that you can think of. I'm going to put this one. So what we left out is custom extension and customization of the applications, right? For standard and as well as custom application. Is there anything else that we miss in BDC architectures and points? Let me know. But yeah, if you have any questions before we go to the customization exercises, let me know. That's the last one that we're going to talk about. And then we move to the next topic.